going on, guys? So as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be installing my steering wheel, my short hub, and my quick release on the Miata that I picked up. So yeah, I picked up a Miata. It's all stock. It's a 1993 LE, so it's the black with the red. There's only 1,500 of those ever made, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to be doing a pretty extensive restoration on the car. It's in fair shape right now, but it needs a decent amount of work. I'll put some clips in of when I first picked it up here. So just taking some steps around the car. As you guys can see, the paint is in pretty rough condition. I'm going to be tackling that first. I'm going to see how much I can get up with the polisher and some clay bar. You can tell that the rear bumper needs to be painted. But yeah, this car's been not very clean its life. There's a lot of marring and tree sap all over the place, and we're gonna see what I can do with the stock paint, and whatever parts actually have to be repainted will get repainted. I'm doing a full restoration pretty much. I don't really like how the hood was pressed in here, so I'll probably wind up getting a hood. The bumper has seen better days. It doesn't really match right now. I'll have to see if I could polish up the clear on this. Good thing about this is a PZ paint code, so it has clear coat. It's not like the other brilliant black. I think it's PX or PY, I forget. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, this is it. It's in relatively good condition. I mean, it runs great. The timing belt was already done. Water pump was done. The interior is pretty good. The seats aren't ripped. They're just a little cracked. No tears, which is awesome. And the carpet's in pretty good shape. Got to figure out what's going on with the radio. That doesn't work at the moment. Got to fix the air conditioner. But yeah, this is the car, and I'm going to get to work on it now. So yeah, I'm going to be installing my steering wheel in this video. I'm going to be unboxing it. I went with a Renown steering wheel. It's a Chicane Rosso is the name of it. So it's the black suede with the red stitching. So yeah, here's the unboxing of that. This is the short hub that I got. This was just on eBay for the Miata. It'll be in the description below. For the airbag, you need a 3.3K ohm resistor. So I had that already. Here is the quick release. It's an NRG. We got some paperwork here. Just went with a black one. Figured it would look a little bit more classy. And now for the steering wheel. The struggle is real. I got a little thank you note. Pretty cool. Renown Motorsports. Came with some other stuff here, but here's the wheel. It's in a nice bag. And there it is. It's pretty deep. This is 350 millimeter, but the red will match the leather and all the plastics in the 93 LE. This is the horn button. Pretty nice, so that'll go right in there. And then standard install hardware, some jumper wires. But I'll be following, I think, the DIY from Flying Miata. There's a couple different ones online. And I'll be going along with that. I'll put links for everything that I have here in the description, and here's the installation. Alright, so we're out here in the shop, and whenever we're working on anything electrical in a car, it's always a good idea to disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. So we're going to start with that. Next, we're going to remove this panel, which is underneath the steering wheel. It's 2 Phillips head screws. Next, we're going to locate the clock spring plug, which is this big blue one. And you're going to disconnect the orange one first. And then this blue one here. Alright, now we're going to put the key in the ignition switch. This way it'll prevent the steering wheel from locking. Just turn it on. Now we're going to remove the 4 10mm nuts. Alright, now for the scary part. We have to pull the airbag out of the wheel. Once we get that out, you're going to notice that there are 2 more connectors in there. The orange and the blue, just like below, and they disconnect the same way. First, and then the blue. Alright, next we're going to center the steering wheel. And once that's centered, we're going to mark on the steering shaft where center is. Now we're going to remove the 21mm bolt that's holding the steering wheel onto the column. And pull the wheel off. Alright, next we're going to remove the 4 screws that are holding this cowling on and take the cowling off. So now we're going to take out the screws that are holding the clock spring in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a mark and mark on this white piece where it meets up with the clock spring. There and there. Now we're going to pull the clock spring off and out over the shaft, and then grab this and pull this out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grind from this mark back this way. It's roughly 1/4 inch. What we want this to be able to do is to be able to go inside the clock spring and rotate all the way around 360 degrees so it doesn't hang up on the inside. Probably should do this outside the car so I don't make a mess inside. So mine, I guess, is going to look something like that. Do this on both sides. Don't go all the way through though, because that could mess it up. Now we're going to test fit this and see if it works. What you want this to be able to do is to spin 360 degrees without turning the clock spring. So mine fits perfectly. What we have to do now is trim this outer casing from down here all the way around. We want to pull this off but leave the inside alone and don't cut the wires on the inside. I have this little saw blade for my Dremel, and I think I'll be able to get that in there to cut it. You can also cut that blue plug off at this point, but this is what it should look like after you cut the outer casing off, if it can focus. So you still have this black piece, and this is just making it smaller so it fits inside the hub adapter. Next thing we're going to do is on the back of my hub, I had this brass piece with a plastic bushing and this wire soldered to it. Just pry this out and toss that aside. And you'll see that inside the hub here, we have a hole for where the wires are going to feed through. So every hub might be different, but I have to make this hole a little bit bigger. So I'm going with a 1/2 inch drill bit. But my drill seems to be dying, so I'm going to put this in the drill press, make it a little bit easier. And here's the finished product. This is now a 1/2 inch hole. Alright, now that you have your hole drilled, you can fish your wires through and just slide your hub adapter on. Make sure that you have those 2 white pins lined up with the 2 holes that'll be top and bottom behind here. You'll see what I'm talking about when you go to slide it on. Next, we're going to take that 21mm nut, throw that on the middle, and run it in with an impact gun. that's it. Alright, so now we'll go over the wiring. So the red wire and the gray wire, these are your airbag. We're going to put a 3.3 K ohm resistor in between these. This is your ground, and then this is the positive from the horn button. And I'll show you how these get wired into the quick release. Alright, so I just soldered the resistor in between and then wrapped some heat wrap around it. This way nothing can get in contact with the ground. And this will just get tucked in behind here. Now this, the black, is grounded through the steering column. That'll get connected to one of the leads on here. We'll do this one because it's black and it has the female side on it. So this is the back of the quick release. That'll get connected to that, and then I'm going to put a female spade on this one, or on this one here, the green wire, and that'll connect to the yellow going through the quick release. Alright, so now that we have our two leads on here, we can take the quick release base, plug these in. And now just stuff these wires back behind this. And then included with the quick release were the bolts to hold it onto the short hub. Just a mental note, keep track where the two pins are. They're at the bottom here inside the quick release, and they're also at the bottom on the hub. So what you want to do is snap this together as it is. This way you can get your steering wheel perfectly lined up top to bottom. Okay, and that's it. Final step. We're going to hook up our positive lead, which is the yellow, to the P, and then our ground lead to the G. Okay, that's not going to work. Now we can pop it on. Ground and positive. Also, don't forget to plug in the two plugs he disconnected. Alright, the last thing we have to do is hook up our negative lead on our battery, make sure the horn's working, and then verify that the airbag light does not come on. Once you have the battery reconnected and the two plugs underneath connected, just make sure that your horn works before you go buttoning everything else up. So yeah, that's how to install an aftermarket steering wheel and quick release in an NA Miata. If you guys like my video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. There will be more videos on this car as I start doing more things to it. I want to have a spot where I can keep all the information. This way I can look back at it in the future and see like what I've accomplished. So yeah, be on the watch and make sure you subscribe. See you later.